Hey guys, Easily Easy here, and today we're going to be doing something, as they say, a little different. My brother wanted to show me this r/am I the asshole post on, take a guess, Reddit, because, quite simply, it is very hilarious. Now, I haven't finished it. I read the first couple paragraphs, but I thought, let me take this opportunity to make an actual video of this, because this needs to be documented, and shown to possibly a bigger audience. So let's do this. Am I the asshole for telling my husband his name suggestion for our unborn baby is idiotic at best? Now don't get ahead of her. Hello all, this has caused quite a stir on both sides of the family, and my niece suggested I post this here so as to garner unbiased opinions. Unfortunately, as it is relevant to the story, I will have to keep much personal information uncensored in this story. As such, this is a throwaway account. My 35 female, husband 37 male, and I are pregnant with our first child. We are overjoyed as we have struggled with perceived infertility and miscarriages for the last decade. Very sorry to hear about that. We want the gender to be a surprise, and we're gonna figure it out by blowing up California, but may have to find out. To settle this, I'm currently at the tail end of my second trimester. Now, my husband absolutely idolized his grandpa, who unfortunately passed away last week. My husband is devastated, especially about the notion that his children will never meet their great-grandpa, who their father adored so much. As such, my husband has suggested that we name the baby after Grandpa. Theodore, if it's a boy, Theodora, if it's a girl. Very sweet. Either way, we will either call them Teddy or Theo, Thea, respectively. It's not that I mind the name. The issue is that our last name is Bundy, pronounced Bundy. Oh no. Oh dear, oh. Now, I don't think it takes a genius to understand why this name might not be a good idea, considering the fact that Ted Bundy is one of the most famous serial killers of all time. But hey, we haven't even finished it, alright? Let's keep reading, and we'll see where this goes. I asked my husband, do you really see no issue in naming our kid Teddy Bundy? You don't think that would raise any questions? He says no, he's just honoring his grandpa. I told him he needs to think about how we will be perceived, how our child will be treated, and the implications that the name inherently carries. I literally had to spell out why that would be a horrible idea, and he still thinks I just hate his grandpa. I told him no, grandpa was named in 1930 when the name Teddy Bundy wouldn't have been a problem. However, since certain events in the 70s and 80s, there's no feasible way we can give this name to our kid and not cause issues. He kept pushing and pushing until I blew up and told him to stop with the idiotic suggestion, and that's what it is. Idiotic at best, sociopathic at worst. He got extremely upset and told his family and my parents, who are divided. His family is obviously on his side and wants to honor grandpa via naming the baby after him. My parents are torn, but on my side, as they understand the social pariah we would make our child by giving them such a similar name to the person who did such abhorrent and downright evil things to so many women. I mean, personally, I don't think anyone is just going to assume that we are honoring a past loved one. They're just gonna think of Ted Bundy. Am I the asshole? So let's break it down, shall we? Starting with the most obvious, Ted Bundy is I'm gonna read this off of Wikipedia here, an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped, and murdered numerous young women and girls during the 1970s and possibly earlier. After more than a decade of denials, he confessed to 30 homicides committed in 7 states between 1974 and 1978. Bundy's true victim total is unknown and could be much higher. And to make matters worse, if you take a look at the picture, Bundy in 1978, and below, you will see that his name is not Ted, but Theodore, named exactly like good old grandpa. So, what do? You want to honor your grandpa? You gonna name him after a serial killer? Interesting. Now, when it comes to r/am I the asshole, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't my first rodeo. I've scrolled the thread from time and time again. One time, me and my brother did it, and it was very funny because it was some stupid, dumb shit like, am I the asshole for drowning my 1-year-old child in Hidden Valley ranch dressing? What do you think? But this one is very interesting because it could quite, On one hand, you're honoring your grandpa, who was a great man, as far as I'm concerned, and he never got to meet his grandchildren. Why wouldn't you want to name after your grandfather? On the other hand, Ted Bundy, people. Ted Bundy. Again, raped, killed numerous women. I've heard about the stuff he did. He's like, when it comes to serial killers, it's between him and Jeffrey Dahmer on the most famous and insane. I think Jeffrey Dahmer is a bit higher up. Ted Bundy's a close second, but still, you don't want to name your kid Ted Bundy. Think about how much that would mess with the kid's mind. He grows up thinking and knowing that he's named after his grandfather that he never got to meet, and he probably would love his name because of it. Further down the line, he's gonna figure out eventually there's nothing you can do. He is also going to figure out that he is unintentionally named after a serial killer. What do you say we go to the comments and get other people's opinions and not just mine, even though my opinion is the best and I know everything. So let's start going. Not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole. No, a lot of people, oh, here's one. You're the asshole for calling it idiotic when they are trying to honor a loved one. Inappropriate would have been a better word. That said, Theo Bundy sounds fine. Why does his nickname have to be Teddy? Is that cultural? Why does his nickname have to be Teddy? Is that culture? Dude, you need to put a fucking comma in there, you idiot. Theo sounds like an appropriate nickname for Theodore. Alright, fair. Let's keep going. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but I gotta admit, when I saw Theodora, all I could think was, tip Theodora, m'lady. This guy's one of the good ones. So at the end of the day, this woman is not an asshole. She's got an asshole, but everyone does. So, I don't even know why I said that. Not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole. Just all not the asshole. Interesting. So yeah, it appears that most people are in agreement. Don't name your kid Ted Bundy. Shocker, I know. Now I see where the husband is coming from, honoring your grandpa by naming his grandchildren after them. It's good. It's an honest-to-God, good-natured idea. I think I'm gonna burp. Okay, cool. But Ted Bundy, guys. I feel like I'm extending this longer than it has to be. But in short, I mean, just think of something else you could use to honor him by. You know, what kind of car did he drive? What was his favorite food? Name the kid after his middle name. I don't know. Whew. So at the end of the day, I think we should answer the question because it's already gone on long enough. I'm checking my watch that I don't have on my wrist right now. So is this woman, whose user is can't name a kid Ted Bundy, the asshole? I'm gonna say no. Because no matter what positive notions may come from it, i.e. naming them after your grandpa, you're also naming them after a serial killer. And people are gonna know the serial killer more than they're gonna know your grandpa. My advice, if you ever do somehow watch this, think of a different name. Think of a different name that still can honor your grandpa in some way. Do not name your children Ted Bundy. For obvious reasons. So with that all said, this was short and sweet, but I'm easily easy, and I'll see y'all next time.